Prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. Welcome to Creature Guy and Live Daily News. From Sci News, new herbivorous dinosaur species identified in Canada. Paleontologists have found the fossil of a previously unknown species of Leptoceratopsid dinosaur that lived more than 70 million years ago in what is now Alberta, Canada. And remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know. Now, let's dive right into the animal news of the day. Interesting. So the leptoceratopsids are a group of small ceratopsian dinosaurs, the same group of dinosaurs in which Triceratops derives from. But the leptoceratopsids were very small. They didn't reach much more than 8 feet in length, or a little over what 2.5 meters. But the thing is that the leptoceratopsids. So you had species like Leptoceratops, Montanaceratops, both of which have been found in North America, with Leptoceratops over in Alberta, Canada, and Montanaceratops, obviously, in Montana. But there have been other species that have been discovered over in Asia and possibly Europe as well. Um, but the thing is that many tend to assume that the smaller ceratopsians ended up going extinct towards the beginning of the late Cretaceous period, around 95 million years ago. When the truth is that they actually continued to create more families as the Cretaceous went on. The Leptoceratopsids first evolved somewhere around 83 million years ago during the late Cretaceous, and would eventually go extinct around 66 million years ago, along with the rest of the non avian dinosaurs. So, who do we have here? Gremlin, Slobodorum. You named an animal Gremlin, like an elf. Anyway, it's quite unique. This animal will be remembered. So the new dinosaur species roamed our planet during the Campanian age of the late Cretaceous epoch. So this is during the earlier part of the Campanian stage, some 77 million years ago. Named Gremlin Slobdorum, the ancient beast was approximately 2 meters or 6.6 feet in length. It's about average size for Leptoceratopsid. This species was a type of Leptoceratopsid, a family of hornless, parrot-beaked plant-eating dinosaurs. I wouldn't necessarily say parrot-beaked, but sometimes this has been described. It's used for a description of smaller, different types of ceratopsians. I think even Protoceratops is occasionally used with that description. But the thing is that Protoceratops was not a member of the Leptoceratopsids. It was a member of Protoceratopsidae. Now, let's see. Dinosaurs closely related to Triceratops. They were a bit off on the family tree. And the thing is that you already had the family of ceratopsians that Triceratops would later evolve from already existing. They're called the Chasmosauridae lineage of ceratopsians. Leptoceratopsids are far off in the branch of ceratopsians. So these dinosaurs differed from Triceratops and other ceratopsids in lacking horns on its face and only having a small frill extending from behind its head. Yeah, it is quite interesting. This type of characteristic existed for a long time. You could already find like over 120 million years ago with ceratopsians having this distinct type of a overall body morphology. Unlike the better known ceratopsians, leptoceratopsids were relatively small, mostly around sheep sized, and lacked horns. Okay, I already said that. Although it is very incompletely known, Gremlin slebdorum can be distinguished from other leptoceratopsids by the presence of a ridge running across the top of each frontal. I'm guessing he's talking about the skull. Oh, let me know in the comments what your favorite species of small ceratopsian is, or in general, horned dinosaur. Also, when looking at the different animals that existed in this region, you have different species of dromaeosaurs, such as Sornitholestes. So this was an average-sized dromaeosaur. Sornitholestes was a little over 6 feet in length, or reaching 2 meters, and probably weighed somewhere around 30 to 35 pounds, or a little over 15 kilograms. It was probably hunting different species of small mammal during the region, since there were a wide variety of mammals during the late Cretaceous, not usually reaching much more than 20 to 25 pounds. That's a large mammal for the time. Probably also going after different species of amphibians or reptiles. Or let me know in the comments if you think Sornitholestes was probably going after, you know, mm, amphibians or younger dinosaurs. It's a bit of a question as to whether or not this animal would have hunted in packs. Or let me know in the comments if you think that they would have been socially oriented or pack hunters. You also had different species of hadrosaur in the region. Many members of the Lambeosaurinae lineage of hadrosaurs, such as Parasaurolophus walkeri. There are a few different species of Parasaurolophus. Walkeri is the largest. This individual could reach over 30 feet in length and, or somewhere around 9 meters, weigh over 5 tons. So this was one of the larger species of hadrosaur in the region, and its distinct crest would have probably allowed it to make many different types of low frequency sound. This is a skeleton of possibly a younger Parasaurolophus individual. So this is also, yeah, the distinct crest. So there would have been a series of um, passageways in which it would take in air. And there have been certain studies done onto what type of a sound this animal would have created. And it's possibly something like a very low tuned trumpet. So, very distinct from today's African elephant trumpets. They might have been able to create certain similar rumbles. There have been different discoveries of hadrosaurs in Alberta, especially where there have been a large number clustered amongst each other, possibly due to them being caught in the middle of a flood. Now, this individual over here, oh, I guess we'll get to him shortly. So, this is a member of the Chasmosaur family that existed during this time in Alberta. This is Chasmosaurus, though it's not the most famous of the lineage despite its name. That would be Triceratops. But Triceratops is also very distantly related to Chasmosaurus, but it also wouldn't evolve for another 8 million years. So, when it comes to Chasmosaurus, this individual could probably reach somewhere around 14 feet in length. It wasn't a very large ceratopsian, but for the time, you could say actually it was huge. And this animal probably reached somewhere around 2.5 tons, at least with the length, so it was around 4 meters. And these individuals probably roamed in at least small herds, if not large ones. Or let me know in the comments if you think the larger, pretty much all the larger species ceratopsians would have roamed in large herds, considering we have found animals such as Centrosaurus in large numbers amongst each other. Now, the thing, this is a good drawing. It's just that it's making it look like these animals could have galloped, and dinosaurs did not have the ability to gallop like a zebra or a buffalo or um, a bison. They semi would have been quite similar to how an elephant runs to an extent. Oh, also, when looking at the distinct two open areas, if you noticed in the skull, this would have only been filled with very thick layer of tissue. So, despite it being completely open, it would have still been a quite a hassle for something like even certain tyrannosaurs to get through. But it wasn't as heavily built as like the later ceratopsian members of the Chasmosauridae. And yes, these were herbivores. They would have been feeding on different species of flowers, ferns in the region. Now, real thing. This is Dr. Philip Curry. This is one of the most famous paleontologists today. I've known him since I was like 6 or 7 years old. He's done a massive research on different species of hadrosaurs, tyrannosaurs, especially Albertosaurus itself. And this right here is a young Chasmosaur. This is one of the youngest Chasmosaurus individuals to be discovered. So this is a really fascinating find. This is very well preserved. And oh, here's just simply another skeleton. The Chasmosaurus also, at least Chasmosaurus itself, had much smaller horns than something like the later Triceratops or Torosaurus would, even Pentaceratops. And here's the predator that would have hunted these animals. Everybody here, even Sornitholestes, would be taken in as like a calorie supplement. Um, Displetosaurus. This animal could reach somewhere around 30 feet in length or around 9 meters and probably weighed somewhere around 2.5 to 3.5 tons. So for the time, it was probably the largest tyrannosaur Probably competed with Albertosaurus for its size, but Albertosaurus was slightly more slender. Displetosaurus was a bit more heavily built and also had much longer arms compared to its body size than the later Tyrannosaurus rex or Tarbosaurus or Zhu Shang Tyrannus over in China would. So, Displetosaurus was probably feeding on every species of Lambeosaur and Hadrosaur in the region, or just the Hadrosaurs in general. The Ceratopsians looks like here they brought something closely related to a Centrosaurus, but I can't. It's not hitting me at the moment. And yes, they probably were pack hunters. Or let me know in the comments if you think that these were very social animals, as well as how long you think they might have taken care of their young for. It's a big question. At least when looking at animals such as T Rex, it's possible it would have taken them at least 20 years to grow to full size. Um, I'd say, it might have taken a similar time for these animals to reach full size as well. Let me know in the comments if you think it might have taken up 20 years as well, despite them being smaller. So, the fossilized frontal bone of Gremlin slibidorum was found in sediments of the Oldman Formation in southern Alberta, Canada. The discovery fills a gap in the fossil record of Leptoceratopsid dinosaurs in Alberta, being intermediate in age between two Leptoceratopsids. Gryphoceratops from the Milk River Formation and Unescoceratops from the Dinosaur Park Formation. So the Dinosaur Park Formation is also where you're going to find um, carnivores like Gorgosaurus, possibly Albertosaurus as well, and also the Milk River formations, where you're going to find many of these similar hadrosaurs and ceratopsians in the region. Oh, these two are also in different areas of Alberta, Canada. The description of Gremlin slubdorum and its comparison to other leptoceratopsians allowed us to reevaluate characteristics of paired frontal bones of the skull roof that were previously considered important for classification. Are they not? The identification of the new species also helps to better understand the evolution of leptoceratopsids in Alberta by narrowing the temporal gap between Gryphoceratops, the oldest known leptoceratopsid, so I'm guessing it's somewhere around 83 million years old, and Unescoceratops that sits stratigraphically above Gremlin slobidorum. Oh, this is really good to hear. I'm glad that the Gremlin has been quite renowned in this instance. So, let me know in the comments what your favorite species of ceratopsian is, or even late Cretaceous dinosaur. And from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guide Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know, because nothing is better than all animals all the time.